Welcome to CoreCon today for June 12th, 2023. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now and give you my opinion on them. Now, this includes new Fire TV models are probably coming soon, Dish and DIRECTV merger talk updates, what's happening there, how close are they, or how close are they not, and YouTube has partnered with different streaming services to promote a subscription service next to user-uploaded content. We're going to be talking about all this and more here in a minute. First, though, if you want to learn more about all these stories, check out the show notes down below and in the first pinned comment. I'll put a link to each video there so you can read about them for yourself. Also, if you're new here, do me a big favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, helping us support our families. We would really appreciate your support, and hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. So with that said, let's dive into the story, starting off with a new Fire TV model coming soon. Now, we've been seeing a lot of Fire TV sales recently, not just the typical ones for like Memorial Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day. We get sales on all kinds of streaming services and devices around that time, but also some out of cycle, I'll call them, sales on the Fire TV Max and the Fire TV Stick 4K. According to Elias, the owner of AFTV News, who is a former Amazon employee who worked on the Fire TV, he believes the current trend of Fire TV sales points to a new Fire TV Stick 4K coming soon. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean tomorrow. It does mean, though, that he believes one is coming, and he's been very good covering the Fire TV. He's super focused on that with great information on it. So he believes that the current trend of sales, which doesn't necessarily mean it's the cheapest it's ever been, but the current trend of sales points to a new Fire TV Stick coming soon. Now, I've been saying this for a while, though. The Fire TV Stick 4K is probably the one you want to get. For example, the Fire TV Stick 4K is $31.99 right now on sale, but the Fire TV Stick 4K is $34.99. For an extra $3, you get a far better device with more RAM, better Wi-Fi, and more on it. I would currently recommend spending the extra dollars getting the 4K Stick Max. But for now, we'll keep a close eye on this. I do not expect this to be a more powerful device than the 4K Stick Max. Elias also agrees that he expects this to be a more powerful than what's on the market now, but not necessarily a better device than the Max version. So we'll have to keep a close eye on this, but if you've been on the fence, again, you may want to consider getting the Max so you don't buy a device that's very quickly going to get replaced with a newer version. All right, let's keep moving on. Dish and DIRECTV have been in talks for a while. Now, according to the New York Post, we have some updates on what's happening with Dish and DIRECTV's merger. Now, the two satellite companies have been talking on and off about merging into a single one, much like Sirius XM and Sirius and XM merge into become Sirius XM. Now, though, it reportedly that they've hit a road bump and are stalled. Dish is struggling to get funds to finish the 5G build-out. They have to go, I believe, until 2025 to meet certain build-out goals for the FCC to retain the spectrum and other FCC permissions they received for their new 5G wireless network. They need money to do that. Now, they have a few options. They can try to delay that, or they can open it or get more investors. Now, reportedly, they're struggling to get investors with this deal. The problem here being the fact that they've run into some roadblocks. They had the major security breach in the first quarter that negatively impacted their growth. They've had other issues with it. And as a whole, investors have pulled back from investing in a lot of different services, including television companies. And we talked about that earlier. Even in the streaming cord cutting side, the number of investors investing in it are significantly smaller this year than they have been in years past. This has put Dish in kind of a tough spot. We'll see how this all plays out, but apparently that's playing into DIRECTV's hesitance to merge with Dish right now. We'll see. I still think that ultimately this merger will happen, but there's a good chance it won't. It kind of needs to happen soon if it's going to have any impact. I've talked during the Q&A we did last Wednesday about the fact that I think that satellite could actually outlive cable because satellite serves very rural customers that may not have good internet options, where cable's available in areas where they have good internet options. So we'll have to keep a close eye on this. It would be very interesting to see how this all changes and goes forward. But I want you to know, what's your prediction? Will Dish and DIRECTV merge into a single TV company? Now, that does not mean that AT&T and Dish will merge. I think that would be kind of a spun out third-party company where you just have Dish and DIRECTV satellites companies working together. And then you have Dish Wireless and Dish everything else, and then AT&T everything else as another company, kind of like how DIRECTV was spun off. But I want to know, what's your prediction? Will it happen? Will it not happen? Leave me a comment, let me know. All right, a lot more to talk about. A lot happened this weekend. Hope everybody had a great weekend. YouTube has started to promote Paramount Plus. They've partnered with Paramount Plus to go and put YouTube ads for Paramount Plus on YouTube videos right next to any user uploaded content. For example, if I would take a clip from Star Trek, The Next Generation or something, put it on YouTube, YouTube will detect that. In the past, they tried to sell you through YouTube. They could buy that episode on YouTube. Now instead, they're promoting Paramount Plus. You can subscribe to Paramount Plus through YouTube right there. Pretty good marketing. Basically, they're taking all those user-generated clips and videos and mashups talking about Star Trek, putting Paramount Plus ads next to it in an effort to drive up subscribers. It'd be interesting to see what other streaming services partner with YouTube to do this. Have you noticed any others out there? Leave me a comment, let me know. I know it's Paramount Plus. I haven't noticed others. I'd love to hear from you. But yeah, they put a little button right next to the video that says subscribe to Paramount Plus. If you like Star Trek, you're watching Star Trek, why don't you watch Star Trek over on Paramount Plus? We'll see how this all plays out, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. All right, Spectrum's hidden TV fees are going up once again, and they can add up to be more than the advertised price for TV. Right now, it's very easy to run up a bill of $74.16 just on the hidden fees. All the fees like device fees, broadcast TV fees, DVR fees, cloud DVR fees in case you want to watch your DVR outside your home, and receiver fees, which you need a receiver for each TV you want to watch Spectrum on through their devices. Now, the advertised prices for their Select package is $59.99, or the Select and Entertainment is $71.99. You add these fees up with 3 TVs needing receivers, and you can quickly end up paying more than the advertised price of the package here with that. Now, this comes as broadcast TV fees for ABC, NBC, Fox, and CBS are now up to $22.20. Now, this has been one of the main complaints of the hidden fees for a lot of TV companies. You advertise the locals, and then you have that little asterisk with fees and taxes or whatever next to the price for the asterisk. Well, you already know that you're charging $22. I believe in many areas it's still $21, but we have Spectrum bills from customers that show $22.20 now being charged for broadcast channels. So you advertise this, you advertise it with your local channels, but then you automatically tack on an extra $20+ for fees because you offer locals, which you have bundled in and you're advertising with that package. A lot of people hate that. Kind of goes back to the old argument. Oh, look, this cable package appears to be cheaper than cord cutting. Well, what they're not telling you is there's so many hidden fees with this that you're going to have to significantly add on pricing or fees here that make it much more expensive than cord cutting. But let me know. Well, were hidden fees part of the reason you cut the cord or are considering cutting the cord? Leave me a comment, let me know. All right, let's keep moving along a little faster here. Warner Brothers Discovery is making a new Flintstones movie. This is a prequel. I'm assuming something along the lines of when they all meet and get married, maybe when they're dating. Could be a fun prequel animated movie, not a live action, animated. This is reportedly part of Warner Brothers Discovery's plan to dive further into animated content. We'll see how all goes. But are you excited for a new Flintstones animated movie? All right, CNN, we talked about their ratings are down. We talked about how their CEO bailed on them last week. He stepped down after bad press and falling viewer numbers. And then they also, to save money, have moved out of their CNN headquarters to a cheaper location in Atlanta to be their new headquarters. Well, this is probably part of the reason why. A new report's out that says CNN's ad revenue is down 40% so far this year. It's not just CNN. This is a good example of what's happening to many cable companies. And there's a combination of factors here. Ad revenues across the board are down. What companies are willing to pay for ads are down. And there's fewer people watching, which is driving the ad revenue down again. This is probably why we've seen Paramount lay off 25% of staff. And in a minute, we'll talk about how CBS is laying off more of their staff. But increasingly, we're seeing local or cable networks and local stations having to deal with the fact that ad revenue is down, which is negatively impacting their ability to make revenue. We'll see how this all plays out, but 40% drop in ad revenue means something in the bottom line has to change and could accelerate the progression from traditional linear TV to streaming. We'll see how that all plays out. But I really do think that news is something people now expect to be free. It's not just a CNN issue, it's across all news organizations, because you can come here on YouTube and watch free content. You can read it on so many websites out there like Cord Cutters News and more. I think news is meant to be free. I don't think people are going to be willing to pay for it. I think that's why we saw CNN Plus fail so dramatically. All right, last story up the day. Paramount is laying off staff at its local CBS stations. These are the local CBS owned and operated stations that Paramount's announced that they're going to kind of centralize their graphics departments and take the graphics away, for the most part, from local stations and put them at a higher level to have what they call a unified look across all their local stations. But more importantly, they'll be able to have fewer staff because one graphics team is going to be making the ads for all their owned and operated stations, which aren't a lot. Most CBS stations are independent, but it's one more example, like I just talked about with the CNN, that as ad revenue falls, they're looking to cut costs, and cutting costs in the graphics department by laying off staff is one way to do it. Paramount will be laying off 25% of its staff across all of its cable networks coming up here across this year also. That was announced earlier this year. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Take care, be safe. Have a fantastic day, everybody.